Maybe you haven't lost yourself. Maybe you just can't be that person anymore, the one who was always adapting to others. He was convenient, he served others' expectations, and always listened to everyone else. Now this version no longer works. You can't be convenient anymore. It's important for you to hear yourself. In this video, we'll explore how to return to your true self, to your real desires, and build a new reality. In this video, we'll look at why you might have lost touch with yourself, why it doesn't mean you're broken, and how to return to your true self without force or strain. In short, the old version helped you survive, to adapt to the realities of life, to be convenient. Everything, of course, starts from very early childhood. It's really about survival. In order to get a candy, in order to get what you wanted, it was necessary to adapt to the circumstances. In order to feel safe in the environment you're in, it was necessary to adjust to the circumstances. And of course, this requires certain resources, so-called defense mechanisms, so-called boundaries, mindsets. They became a kind of program for you where you were constantly convenient, where you served. But this version is coming to an end. At some point in time, it stops giving you energy. For example, right now, and this is where the most interesting part begins, the transition. During this period, a person usually feels confused, a lack of strength, a lack of energy. Old relationships, old goals, old desires stop giving the desired result, stop giving energy, stop fulfilling you. In this period, you feel as lost and confused as possible because, damn, you want to go back to how it was before. Yes, it was unpleasant at times, but basically everything was clear. But don't rush here and go back to the old version of yourself. It has already outlived its usefulness. On the contrary, be glad that you're now in a state of transition, a transition to a new reality, a transition to a new version of you. This always happens through a kind of mini crisis. This means that it's necessary to move toward the new. What to do next? Don't rush. Results won't come quickly, and the new version of yourself, it won't initially look confident and clear right away. You could say that you are learning to live anew. It's the same as if a cow were to step onto the ice in skates for the first time. Naturally, she won't feel confident at first, but sooner or later, she will eventually learn. And you'll learn too, because it takes time here. And the most important factor is the ability to ask yourself questions. What do I want? And more importantly, what I definitely don't want. And when you ask yourself these questions, it's vital to be completely honest and sincere with yourself. When you're honest and sincere with yourself in that moment, you slowly start to build a new order of life, new habits, new boundaries, and new desires. And sooner or later, it'll gradually start to sink in, and you'll begin to arrive at a new version of yourself. And following that new version of yourself, a new reality will emerge. What kind of new reality? It doesn't happen suddenly or from some external events. It starts from within. And the most important thing here is to learn, not to try not to slip back into old circumstances. Because, it's like a ruler or a spring that you've released, compressed, and let go. It's constantly trying to return to its former state. Of course, you'll need endurance here, but sooner or later, over a certain amount of time, you'll start to feel like a new person. And then you'll suddenly start receiving new gifts from fate, new feedback. Yes, people will start to notice you, getting to know you in a new way. Perhaps new opportunities will open up, new acquaintances, new interests, a new surge of energy. Nowadays, it's commonly referred to as being in your prime. You'll start to feel your prime, a new state of being. And from the outside, it'll look like you're a rocket taking off and soaring. To you, on the inside, it'll surely feel like you're moving very slowly. But you shouldn't worry about speed here. In fact, from the outside, you're flying very fast, changing very fast, and people will admire you. And in this new reality, when you listen to yourself, you'll have a great surge of energy and consequently results, money, and relationships. And then, of course, you can congratulate yourself for deciding back then that the old version of you wasn't working. You made the choice to change yourself, gave yourself time, and now you're reaping the rewards.